Testing, testing. Can you see me out there? Believe me, you can see me a hell of a lot better. You can see what in the hell's going on in this movie. Let's get into it. Back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. And we're on to the final Predator film in my Predator review series that I am doing. And then we're going to have a ranking video out soon after this video is dropped. But before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe. Join me here. I really would appreciate that. Yes, we're on to Alien vs. Predator, Requiem. This film was released on December 25th of 2007, Christmas Day, which is, to me, a moronic day to release this film, but that's what they did. It's rated R. After the backlash of the rating on the first AVP film, they rectified that with giving the fans what they thought they wanted with a rated R. Maybe we shouldn't have got this film altogether. We'll talk about it. It's an hour and 34 minutes long, had a budget of $40 million, so they gave this film less money than they did on the first film. It grossed $41 million in America and $130 worldwide, so it did make some bucks, but Fox definitely cheaped out on this one. And they tapped a brother duo to direct this film, Colin and Greg Strauss. They had owned, they probably still do, an effects company called Hydraulics, and they had done work for Fox in the past, like on the X-Files film, Volcano, and The Day After Tomorrow. I'm not really going to get in the cast here. A lot of them are TV actors. You've seen them in things. Dallas was from Rescue Me, and some of the other ones, the main chick that's the lead here, it was in 24 and some other shows. There's nobody, there's actors you would recognize, but there's not a star here in this film, honestly. The star really is the Alien vs. Predator, but unfortunately you can't see him, and we'll talk about it. So we pick up pretty much right where the first one left off. The Predator that got impregnated with the alien gives birth to the Alien on the space Predator ship that's leaving Earth, kills the Predator, crashes the ship in this rural town in Colorado, and we have a Alien and face huggers that run amok and impregnate other people, and we have a bunch of aliens running around. We see the Predator homeworld for a brief second in a shitty CGI shot. They send a Predator down to kill all the aliens, and meanwhile we follow this group of bland, I'm not blaming the actors here, bland characters, because the script is shit, and pretty much we see incomprehensible fight scenes between Predator and Alien because you can't see shit because everything's dark as hell. And at the end of the film, the U.S. Army decides to nuke the whole town to contain the outbreak, and our main lead in Dallas, this one girl and her daughter, escape. And that's pretty much Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Yes, I am glossing over this because this movie is a shit movie, and we're going to talk about why right now. Besides the paper-thin plot, of course they tried to give the fans what they want by giving us an R rating. Now, I'm not big on the first AVP film, but this film makes it, pardon my French, the first one look like almost like a fucking masterpiece of cinema. That's how bad this film is, between the way it's shot, the script, the way everything, the editing, and the way everything unfolds. This is a huge pile of dog shit, unfortunately. Yes, they do up the gore factor. There is a lot of blood. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of disgusting shit in this film that I never asked for in a Predator or Alien film. We get a kid with a face hugger on it. We have a chest burster come out of his chest, and we get a pregnant woman who gets impregnated by the Predator alien in the hospital, and the aliens come out of her stomach in a scene that nobody fucking wanted, nobody needed, but they give it to us here. I like gory movies. I've seen some of the goriest movies ever made, and I'm not a prude by any stretch, but some of the shit here is unnecessary, and it didn't make me like the film anymore. Now, obviously, there's practical effects here. The Predator's practical, the aliens are practical, and when you can see them, which isn't fucking very often now, because it's like they shot everything in the darkest setting possible. Now, I'm all for mood horror movie lighting, and there's a way to do it where you can still see enough what the hell is going on. But when the fights happen between the alien and Predator, you are lucky if you can see shit. Honestly, all you see is two shadows, and it looks like two drunks in an alley going back and forth because the fights are awfully choreographed and awfully put together, and you can't see what the design's really. You get to see the Predator in some shots in the light, you get to see the alien in some shots in the light, but when there's action happening, you can't see shit. You really can't. And it must be I don't know what they were thinking when they shot this. I know there's video on YouTube from the set when they're trying to light the one scene where the alien comes crashing through the window. And Daniel Pearl was the DP on this film, and he did the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the Friday the 13th remake and other films, as well as TV commercials and stuff and music videos. He's even saying we need more light, this isn't bright enough. And I'm like, I don't know, there's even production stills you can find that were more brightly lit. Now, I don't need a spotlight on them. I don't need it lit up like a goddamn football stadium. But you still need to decipher what in the hell is going on, because I don't give a shit what kind of good effects you may have. If I can't see them, then what the hell's the point here? What are we doing here? It's like a self-masturbatory exercise. That's pointless. You can't really see anything. When they're fighting, you can't see shit. It's totally wasted. It's amateur directing. I know it was their first directing gig, but the directing here is awful. The computer effects when they're on screen don't look that good, obviously, and they had a lesser of a budget than Paul Anderson had in the first one. A lot of things went wrong here, from the scripting phase, for the shitty script. I know we all kind of wanted to see aliens on Earth, and we get that in this film, like in a small town setting, and we get that. But honestly, the action's so bad that it doesn't even matter. It's like, this was a waste of time. This was a waste of a production. It's a waste of... I mean, I own it on Blu-ray, the double disc set here with the first and second film. I bought it for like $8 on Amazon a couple years ago. And this one, I remember seeing it when I got the DVD, and I thought there was something wrong with my TV. It's how dark it is. I was turning up the brightness. I'm like, I can't see shit, because I never saw it in the theaters. And I'm like, no. That's just the way they shot it, because even watching it in 1080p on my 4K TV upscaling, you can't see shit when they're in the sewers or when the monsters are battling. So it's a pointless exercise. There's really no fun to be had here. I feel bad for the actors. They're given some of the shittiest dialogue to fucking say, and it's just cringeworthy. And they even try to recreate like lines from the original film where Dallas says, "Get to the chopper, go," and it just comes off as like not inspired and just boring. I feel bad for the actors who have to say this shit dialogue they were given to say. But yeah, incompetent directing. The lighting is shit, even though we had the DP and Daniel Pearl that's been around for a while and knows his way around lighting a set. I don't know what happened on this film. I don't know whose idea it was to have this murky darkness where you can't see anything, but that's how it came out. And honestly, the special effects are wasted. The creature effects that were for real, because you can't see shit. When you can see them, they do look good. But overall, this is a huge dumpster fire and a missed opportunity of a film. And at the end of the day, it's not worth your time if you've never seen it. I mean, well, I always say if you've never seen it, you're curious, check it out. But honestly, there's not much here to talk about. Again, this makes Paul Anderson's first film look like almost like a fucking masterpiece. And that film's not great by any stretch of the imagination. Now, they were talking about bringing back Danny Glover as Mike Harrigan for this film. Obviously, he didn't come back, and they were going to bring Adam Baldwin back too from his character from Predator 2, but he was unavailable, so he wasn't able to come back. So we really don't have any connective tissue to the original series in either film, other than the Predalien from the first AVP makes an appearance here, and it looks okay. But overall, this movie sucks. I would give it a 1 out of 10. It's really bad. And I feel bad for the actors that had to go through this shit. And the special effects guys that made some cool effects, probably, if we could goddamn see them. So yeah, 1 out of 10 for AVP Requiem. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with a ranking video for this franchise. But until then, bye.